Welcome back to Spring in ERLC. The snow is gone, and in this video we're going to look over all the changes in today's ERLC update. Make sure to subscribe if you do enjoy, and let's get into this. So I think it's pretty fair to say that the snow being gone is a relief for most. After a while it does make the map feel quite empty, quite bland, and the grass and the trees back to being green and orange and whatever, I think it's a colour we definitely need. Now, there isn't too much to talk about the spring map. If we open up the map here, you can see every time they revert from summer to autumn, autumn to winter, winter to spring, the dirt roads and the colors change slightly. And this time around, the dirt roads seem to be a lot darker than they were with the summer update of 2024. We've got a few other changes, quite small, but still worth pointing out. As you can see, Downtown Park has been updated again. The fountain is back. The ice skating rink is gone. Last year, it stayed for quite a while, actually, into the spring. But this time, the developers, I guess, have remembered to remove it, so that is nice. Really nice just to see all the colors again, looking so vibrant. But yeah, as I was saying, the dirt roads seem to be a lot darker than before. Even just like the colors of buildings. Like, look at this. I do not remember the barn being that darker red. That's like crimson red. Either they've changed the color of the barn or the lighting in the game is significantly different to last summer. Either way, some color changes. The map is back to green. Nothing too much more to say on that topic, but yeah, it's really nice to see, actually. It's really refreshing to have the color back in the map after a pretty white winter. Next up, we're over here at the vehicle dealership by the civilian spawn for probably one of the most requested civilian vehicle-related updates in the game's history. So we head inside, and there is now a dealership employee.
What's it gonna be today?
Oh, hello.
We've got the best and only selection in town.
Okay, thank you. Right, so we'll go over to you.
Oh, what car are we talking about today?
Okay, well, this is the vehicle I've got spawned in here, the Bullhorn Prancer 2011, the one I was driving around just a moment ago. And yeah, we can now sell our vehicles. So yeah, sure, we'll sell this.
Hope it's a deal you'll love.
Wow, she is really passionate about cars. So offering 30,500 for this, and sure.
A flawless sale. Thanks for stopping by.
Thank you for having me. There we go. It has been deposited into my bank account. Right, we're just upstairs now, so she doesn't bother me. But yes, there is now a car dealership employee wandering around in the store, happy to buy your vehicles off of you, basically. Now, they don't give you back 100% of the price you originally bought it for. I believe it's roughly between 65 and 70%, which compared to real life is actually pretty good. Let's say you bought the Bugatti for 1.5 million, you'd sell it back for just over $1 million, I believe. Now, it's really cool to see more NPCs around the map, and the ability to sell your vehicle is something I've wanted for years now, all the way after I purchased a Bugatti by accident in a public server back in summer of 2022, and I've regretted that purchase ever since. So it's nice that we can buy, sell cars, you can trial cars, give them back to the dealership after. Obviously, you'd lose a bit of money, but still. Only things you can't sell are limited time vehicles, for example, from the 1 billion event, and any department or job vehicles. Obviously, I don't think you could buy a tanker and sell a tanker at a car dealership. So any normal civilian vehicle, though, they'll happily take that. This update has brought a pretty major addition to law enforcement, and I believe the first step in more voice chat implementations. But anyways, if you jump into any vehicle on police or the sheriff's department, you can see on the console, the ELS console, there's a new mic panel. On the left, we have a talk button, and on the right, we have a library of pre-recorded audio clips which we can play out without using voice chat.
Stop immediately. If you do not comply, you will be arrested.
That is pretty cool. And the distance you can hear them from is actually really impressive. So Ollie's playing them now, and you can see we can still hear them quite far away. We'll keep running. Can still hear them. Yeah, we can still hear them. So they are very loud, very effective, essentially. And if you were to play some of the evacuation tones, you know, the entire housing suburb pretty much could hear them. But just going through, we've got under arrest, pull over, turn engine off, hands up, you know, useful ones for a traffic stop. Whereas down at the bottom, we've got some more unique ones, I suppose. PSA, remaining indoors. We've got an evacuating, disperse now, move to the sides, make way. Those are good for the highway. Last warning, no sudden moves. Not entirely sure when you'd use that. Maybe if you're doing some sort of high-risk stop. I'm not entirely sure. Then we've got walk towards me. Again, some good ones you could use on traffic stops or at a crime scene. I don't know, maybe. But then that isn't the only thing they've added with this new PA system. You can see this big talk button on the left. Now you do have to have Roblox voice chat. You need to make sure it is unmuted. So in the top left, you can see it is green. You know, my voice is being heard, I guess. And then all you got to do is press talk. And as you can see, it's filling up. Now you can't hear yourself. So that's why Ollie's here to give us a quick demonstration.
Hello everyone, ERLC Gaming here, and welcome back to the channel.
Wow, thank you very much, Ollie, for that lovely demonstration. So yeah, it sounds a bit different. They've added some effects onto it, so it sounds more like a megaphone, but it is just using Roblox voice chat. Hopefully this is the first of more implementations. I'd love to see voice chat radios, maybe megaphones you can actually hold. But either way, really cool PA system. I really like the preset library they've got. They've got some great sounds that you can use. If you have game restrictions disabled in private servers, then there won't be any cooldown. So yeah, we can just use these one after the other. But in a public server, I believe there's a 5 to 10 second cooldown basically to stop people spamming them. Either way, this is a really cool system. Can't wait to see this used in role plays. And yeah, I do wonder how people are going to be using these. Like maybe you could do a countdown to a race start. You could do these for evacuating a housing suburb in a role play. So many different uses for a PA system. Right, hello Ollie. So I've joined his server now because there is a new command in private servers, or a new rank, I guess you can call it, called helpers. So in essence, this gives you just access to free cam. Instead of giving out moderator permissions to anyone who just wants to take photos, you can now use the helper command and they'll just have access to free cam, and none of the other commands which they can mess things up or kick anyone or anything like that. So there you go, helper OMB creates, pretty simple, and now I can go in free cam. And there you go, as you can see, unhelper OMB creates, and I no longer have access to free cam. Really useful. I've been wanting this for a while. Glad they finally added this. Really helpful for our roleplay server especially. We can give people helper commands so they can film like news scenes, drone shots, even in the helicopter, if we can't actually call it a helicopter, and they don't have to have mods. So really useful. Glad they finally added this, and I can't wait to implement this into my roleplay server. Now, the PA system isn't the only new law enforcement addition. We have two new weapons here. Now, Ollie here is holding a refreshed MMP 2.0, which is now called the MMP 9, and I'm holding the newly added MMP 15. And these are rank locked to rank 8 and rank 9, respectively. Now, I've got to say, the accuracy and fire rate on this weapon is very impressive. As you can see, this is semi-automatic, very good accuracy as the rain starts to come down. They're nicely modeled weapons, lots of detail on both. It's nice to have more weapons locked to higher ranks. They shoot well, good accuracy, but again, I'm not a gun enthusiast, so I don't really have too much to say about either of these, but very big fan of the MP15, this weapon that I'm carrying now. Definitely think I'll be using this in a few scenarios going forwards. We're over here at the gun store, and there has been some sound updates, in particular to assault rifles and the M249. So if we just grab the AK-47 here and we head over to the shooting range, Ollie's on law enforcement with the M4A1, I believe. So shooting the AK-47, you can hear there's a completely new sound, which I think is a lot more realistic. Again, I have very little knowledge of guns as a whole, but from the videos I've seen in real life, this does sound a lot more realistic. And if Ollie goes ahead and shoots as well, there you go, M249 as well has some new sounds. So yeah, small quality of life improvement to the guns, in particular, all assault rifles and the M249. This is on both civilian and law enforcement, it seems, so I guess that is a nice change. Next up, and still slightly on the topic of weapons, is a taser refresh. Now, the taser itself works very similar to how it did before. You can still tase someone. As you can see, it's still got the prongs in him, and if he stands up, I can still tase him again once they are still attached. But it's been integrated into the gun system. So as you can see, we can hold it down here. Reloading, there's a new animation, which is really clean. I think that's very similar to the pistol, or if not the same. But either way, there's a first person mode, which again is very similar to the pistol ones. Feels a lot more connected, integrated into the whole ERLC system rather than being a completely separate tool. So that's very nice, but as a whole, the taser works pretty much the exact same as it did before. Hasn't been changed, but yeah, as you can see, really nice first-person reloading animation. I suppose it is nice because you can hold it down like this, you can then aim it, move it around like you can with any of the guns. So that's something pretty cool you couldn't do before. Up next on the list is the flashlight, and this update goes for both departments and the civilian team. As you can see, on law enforcement now has an animation for holding it up. Looks so much better in a traffic stop or if you're searching a home. As well, if we go into first person, it's now got the same thing as the gun system, where you've got like a bit of your arm sticking out there, and it's really bright. Before, it was definitely not as bright and had as much of a range as it does now, but like look at this, we can illuminate the police sign up there. It is incredibly bright, which I feel fits well for a police department flashlight here. But yeah, I like it. You can move it up and down, as you can see, very similar to how the gun system in game works. In my opinion, the arm in first person does look awkwardly thin, but apart from that, I really like the animation, holding it up and down, moving it around, much better for roleplay and realism. And we've also just got the civilian flashlight. The model is different, but pretty much the exact same premise here. Go in first person, move it about. Interestingly enough, you can't turn it on or off anymore. You used to be able to click it on and off and there would be a battery on this and then you'd have to go and buy another one. But no, apparently there isn't anymore. But either way, I like the animation. Would be cool if you could choose to hold it underarm or overarm, because I think in different circumstances, it would make sense to hold it under your arm, similar to before. But either way, really nice. The fact that we can move around so much brighter than before, very nice update. To finish off all of the smaller changes in this update, we've got some nice updates to vehicle sound effects and general quality of life improvements. So before, the blinkers or indicators, whatever you'd like to call them, would just stay on indefinitely until you actually turn them off. But now if we approach this intersection here, we'll turn on our right blinker, and as you can see, once we complete the right turn, I haven't touched anything, but they automatically turn off. Same with the left one. Not sure what actually made this. There we go. And as you can see, it turned off. So that's nice, actually. I do like that. If you don't, however, head into settings, go down to auto blinkers at the bottom, and you can disable it back to the original setting if you'd like. It's less of a hassle to use indicators, probably better for roleplay as well. So I like that. Next up, we do have some sound effect improvements. You may have heard it there and there as well, but there have been some new sound effects added for turn the blinkers on and off, turn the hazards on and off, headlights, and the parking brake. So we can just go and play them. There's the headlight. It's very hard to hear on the recording, but it's basically just like flicking a light switch. The parking brake, I think, is the only different one. So if we enable it, it does sound like you're pulling an actual handbrake on an older style car. So that's nice. That is nice, actually. Some quality of life improvements and new sound effects added. Up next, we have some vehicle tuning improvements between 15 and 20, primarily department and job vehicles, have got improvements to their braking, accelerating, torque, and turning radius. So I've got spawned in the dump truck, Ollie has the flatbed, and neither of these vehicles could pretty much get up the highway on-ramp from a standstill. And now we're going to show you how easy it is to do so with these improvements. As you can see, we're actually accelerating up the highway on-ramp instead of slowing down. Great to see. These vehicles are so much more agile, so much quicker now. Primarily the accelerating on these has been improved massively. I'm not going to go through the entire list of vehicles that have had tuning improvements, but it's primarily on the fire department, a lot of their apparatus, a couple of the DOT trucks, one or two larger police vehicles, and quite noticeably the Eagle construction dump truck, which was a horror to drive beforehand. You could not get up here. And even stopping. Going down here, it's so much easier to stop now with a lot of these vehicles having improved braking to be able to, well, actually just slow down going down hills. Anyways, thank you very much everyone for watching this video. Hope you found this informational, helpful maybe. And if I did miss anything, like I usually do, feel free to drop a comment below or let me know on Discord, and I can always go and explore it in another video. Thanks to Ollie for helping out as usual. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next one.